Hello everyone and welcome. This is going to be the beginning of a multi-part series where we're going to go through all the different types of florals that you might see at a wedding. Wedding florals are so much fun to do, and today we're going to be starting with the boutonniere. The boutonniere is super easy, and the techniques that you're going to use while doing the boutonniere are actually the base component of what's needed to be able to do other things like corsages. And so we're going to start with that, learn this super simple, easy to use method for making a boutonniere, and then we're going to have other videos in this series that walk through how to do corsages, we're going to do bouquets, and we're going to do centerpieces. So looking forward to it, and let's get started. Let's talk about the materials that you're going to need. First off, you're going to need some shears of some sort. These can be floral shears, wire cutters, really sharp scissors. I personally like to have wire cutters. I can easily cut my floral stems, and I can cut my wire all with one tool. Next, you're going to need some floral wire. So the floral wire, you can get these at Amazon, a hobby shop, but it's just a green floral wire. I also like to pre-cut some straight pieces. This makes it really easy when I go to wire any buds, which we'll show you how to do that as we go forward. Then you're going to need some floral tape. This is a specialty tape for florals. If you've never used it before, you stretch it out, it activates and creates a really sticky surface that sticks to itself. This is really great to use with florals. You're also going to need some ribbon or twine or whatever it is that you're going to want to use to finish off your boutonniere. So that's going to be up to you to say how you want to style that. And then you're going to need some straight pins to be able to attach your boutonniere to your victims. All right, now let's talk about, now that we've talked about the main materials here, or the hard materials, let's talk about the florals. Now, in today's example, I'm going to actually be using dried florals. But as we go through this, I'm going to talk about how to use fresh florals and some of the special considerations that you need to go through when working with fresh florals. Now, whether you're using fresh or dried, some things that you'll need to do is, one, you're going to need to have a greenery selected. So this could be like ruscus, this could be eucalyptus. Basically, it's something inexpensive, lots of greenery. It's going to create lots of fullness to whatever you're doing for your arrangements or your design. Now, I'm going to be using some like dried leaves as my kind of greenery example. And some different types of like dried grasses. You're also going to need some filler flowers. Now, your filler florals are going to be, again, a little bit less expensive. You might use things like carnations or some spray roses. They're going to be usually a bit smaller, inexpensive, something that you can really put in to create some depth and definition to your designs. And then last but not least, you're going to need focal flowers. So when doing any kind of like arrangements or bouquets, your focal flowers are usually going to be really large. They're going to usually be a bit more expensive. And because they're more expensive, you usually want to use them sparingly. You want that to be the showcase, the centerpiece of your design. Now, for today, with our dried florals, I'm going to be using some really nice larger dried floral items to really create some really pop and definition. But I'm also going to be using something called solo wood flowers. I really like these in dried floral arrangements because when you look at doing really large dried buds, they're typically very fragile and it's really easy for them to get messed up. Using the solo wood flowers, I'm able to get lots of different designs. I can dye these different colors and they're really hardy. So you can see they're going to really stand up to a little bit of a beating, which is really helpful for something in dried florals. So with that, I'm excited to get started and let's dig in.
So now you've pulled together some of your greenery, some of your filler florals, and chosen what you want to be as your focal floral. Now we want to start pulling these together into a bunch. Now, one thing that can be helpful, especially if you're new to floral design, is going ahead and actually pulling off some tape and having that ready for yourself. So you want to pull off a couple different pieces when you pull off your floral tape. You can just pull, it's gonna just break off right there. Go ahead and pre-stretch that a little bit. That's gonna activate the glue, and have those pulled to the side here and ready for you to grab. So again, kind of taking my greenery, got a little bit of a bunny's tail, some grass, some dried grasses, and my focal flower there. So you can see with doing boutonnieres, you can kind of pull those together, kind of see how things are looking, move things around a bit if something's not laying right. And then I'm also going to put some of these really wispy grasses in here. This is going to make this just super romantic feeling and give it some depth. And again, I'm just going to kind of put it around and see what do I like, what looks good. And then once I am happy with my design, I'm going to take a piece of my green floral tape. I'm gonna start there at the top, and I'm gonna just start making my way down, rotating this as I go. You can see right there, I'm just creating a bunch, kind of going down at an angle so that I'm overlapping the tape so that it sticks to itself all the way down. All right, and I'm gonna actually trim this a little bit at the end. And there we go.
All right, so next up we want to finish off our boutonniere with some ribbon so that we can cover up the green tape and really create a really good finishing touch there. Now in this case, I have got some linen, some nice kind of rough linen ribbon. In this case, I'm gonna grab some scissors to cut the fabric here. Just cut a piece off. All right, and with this, I really want, especially with this dried floral boutonniere, I really want kind of that rustic look. So I'm just going to wrap this around. And again, just for my design, I'm kind of leaving a little bit of a bow there. Create just a little bit of a decorative accent, but you could also tuck this in the back, or trim that down a little bit further. All right, and there you have it. You've got a beautiful, easily made boutonniere that is ready to go. So hopefully that was super easy and has given you some confidence that this is something you would absolutely do on your own, and I am looking forward to seeing you next time.